DraftKings Sportsbook's an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and this week new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. Download the app and use code MSG when you sign up. Welcome back to Odds with Ends. We are now joined by former Los Angeles Rams reporter Sarina Morales, who's holding it down out on the West Coast. And speaking of West Coast, Sarina, we might as well talk about some of those California clubs. Starting off with the team you used to cover. I need to know what's going on. You got the insight. What happened and what is happening to those reigning Super Bowl champ Rams?
Keiana, in 2018, when the Rams came back from Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta, the buses dropped us all off at the Rams practice facility after the team lost to the Patriots. You've got to imagine, most of these guys are exhausted, defeated. And as I'm leaving the Rams practice facility to get my car to drive home, who do I see jogging in sweatpants around the football field? Andrew Whitworth. Now, I realize he's hung up his cleats. He's working Amazon Prime now. But like Whitworth, the Rams lost 7 key players from last year's Super Bowl roster. In addition to Whitworth, you had Von Miller, Robert Woods, OBJ, Austin Corbett, Sebastian Joseph Day, and Darius Williams. So yes, the Rams, they are a mess right now. But we shouldn't be surprised or even overly critical of the situation because Les Snead said, F them picks. He went out, he acquired every piece he needed to win the Super Bowl, and it worked. And now he didn't do that. So we shouldn't be expecting anything more than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and especially when you go down that list of those names, that's top-tier talent right there that are no longer on that roster. So it makes a lot of sense. But this week, facing the Cardinals now, it's not just the Rams with a lot of question marks. It's also the Cards who have question marks. So, Erik, I'm going to kick this to you first. With all these question marks with both of these teams, would you stay away from this game as a bettor?
No, I'm going to go with the Rams. I like the Rams as a team. They've lost some tough games. They lost to the Buffalo Bills, the 49ers twice. They lost to the Cowboys, and they just lost the last-second game to that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. But overall, the core of that team is there. Offensive line is lacking. They're not protecting Matt Stafford. Once they get that rectified, Matt Stafford's going to throw from a clean pocket. Cooper Kupp is still producing. On the defensive side of things, Jalen Ramsey is still one of the best corners in the league, and Bobby Wagner is still tackling everyone. So eventually this team is going to get things together. Aaron Donald in the last 6 games has started to pick things up as well. Got 4 sacks in his last 6 games. I look for the Rams to continue to start playing better and finish off these Cardinals.
The reports have gone back and forth that Kyler Murray might not play, then he's going to play, then he's not going to play, then Stafford's not going to play. Now Stafford's locked in, Murray's out. So there's a lot of question marks around this game. That's the reason you would stay away from it. If you're looking at this game and you want to put some money on it, just wait for the news to be finalized on who's going to play. Earlier in the week, I gave out Rams -3 on the betting exchange because I thought Stafford was going to play. When Stafford not on that roster, there's a lot of question marks. We just talked about putting your money elsewhere on more solid ground. Wait for the news on Stafford and figure out who's playing quarterback for the Rams before you look at this game.
Sarina, what's your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, to both of their points, it's concerning with Stafford and concussion protocol, Kyler Murray with a hammy. I actually do like for the Cardinals the over 2.5 touchdowns. You think it's at plus money, 155. With D-Hop back, the Cardinals offense is obviously going to be better. They've averaged 28 points per game since getting him back. The last time these two teams played, Marquise Brown had 14 catches for 140 yards. So imagine with Hop back this week what these guys can do. So I do like that bet, but I would also take Sean's advice and wait and see who's going to be at helm for both teams.
Okay, let's take a trip up the 101 freeway up north to Santa Clara, California, where we have the 49ers who are hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. The 49ers are currently 7-point favorites. However, you can't discount Justin Herbert and that arm. Because of that, would you guys take this line, or do you think that Herbert and co can cause some havoc?
I'll take the line. The 49ers are coming off a bye. Kyle Shanahan now has Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey game planned a couple of weeks to come up with a game plan to attack this Chargers team. The 49ers are elite on offense right now. Christian McCaffrey is getting a lot of touches, 27 touches last week. Now you have Deebo Samuel, who needs to start getting the ball. They're going to find a way to get him the ball. And then you have Brandon Ayuk stretching the defense. So there's a lot of weapons on San Francisco. On the defensive side of things, they're the number 1 run defense in the league, and Justin Herbert is struggling offensively. They're struggling to protect Herbert.
I want the Chargers to be good so badly, but they're not. They're a fraud. They've won 4 of last 5, but they're a very average football team across the board. EC just said it. Justin Herbert is struggling on offense, averaging 5.6 air yards per attempt in the past 3 games. When you think about Justin Herbert, you think about the big arm, you think about him going deep. Mike Williams not being there with the high ankle sprain has really put a cap on that offense. Last thing you want to be against the Niners is one-dimensional. That's when they can really key in. Their defense is elite. I'm with EC. I lay the 7 here.
How about you, Sarina?
This line is a little bit misleading for both of these teams because on one hand, the Chargers, they've had the worst luck of all time with injuries. The Chargers offense, they also probably need like a major change in scheme. Justin Herbert, Sean, you mentioned it. He should not be ranked 31st in air yards per pass attempt with that arm. On the other hand, the 49ers usually very efficient with Jimmy G under center, but they should like absolutely explode with McCaffrey and Debo on the field. Y'all are missing this though. It's the Anthony Lynn revenge game, guys. And now he has McCaffrey and Debo going against the Chargers. Oh, this is so fun.
Austin Ekeler is 13th in the NFL in targets. He's a running back. Like, that's an issue on the Chargers on offense.
Yeah, and also Chargers will be without Mike Williams and Keenan Allen again in this one. All right, you just brought up Austin Ekeler. We have 2 dynamic running backs going head-to-head. I mean, multi-dimensional running backs, Austin Ekeler and Christian McCaffrey. Who do you guys think will shine the most between these two?
Christian McCaffrey, he's going to continue to shine. He has more weapons around him. You talk about Debo Samuel coming back, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle at tight end. This team forces you to to play everyone man-to-man. Christian McCaffrey in a one-on-one situation against against Kyle Van Noy of the Chargers. I like Christian McCaffrey.
Cool.
Christian McCaffrey as well. Kyle Shanahan had some extra time to prep. Chargers' rush defense is horrendous. 29th in yards allowed, giving up 170 the last 3 games. 28th overall in yards per play on defense. Debo's back. That's even more space for McCaffrey, in my opinion. Yep. I like McCaffrey here.
All right, Sarina.
Yeah, I actually think McCaffrey will be more impactful to the 49ers, but I think Ekeler will affect the box score for the Chargers more. They need him on offense. He's the most effective receiver and running back on that team with all of their injuries. He's going to come up more if you're a fantasy player and if you're looking for points.
For me, I had some notes on Christian McCaffrey. He's averaging 44.5 receiving yards. This isn't just him as a running back. This is also him as a receiver. And you know how Kyle Shanahan likes to use his ball carriers. And also, he's gone over that number in 4 of his last 5 games. The only game he didn't do that was his first game with the 49ers, where he got 2 days of practice. So I'm expecting a big game out of Christian McCaffrey and a big game elsewhere around the league. We're going to talk about where the money's at next. Be right back.